Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Ally Sports Network. We got another Suffolk County High School Hockey League JV matchup on the docket. East Islip Chiefs, St. Anthony's Friars. Going to be getting going in just a couple of minutes as I will kick it over to the PA announcer for the national anthem. At the tape between these two teams. East Islip 3-2 coming into this matchup. St. Anthony's 4-1. Goals against per game right now in the favor of the Friars at 2.4. East Islip is 3.2. Goals per game also in favor of St. Anthony's. They're scoring 7.4 per game. East Islip 5.4. But regardless of what the tape says, I think this is going to be a particularly close game. East Islip and St. Anthony's, always two of the top teams in the division here in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. We got 15 minutes on the clock for the first and are instantly underway. Shorter bench for either side today. As the Chiefs going to start off a little bit of possession in the offensive end. Puck deflects over towards the left wing corner. Comes out in front, directed over towards the boards. And we'll get our first whistle of the game with 14:18 remaining. Puck played into the neutral zone. Now for St. Anthony's, they look for their first counterattack. Holbert gets the shot down low. Once again, it's deflected off towards the boards. Comes back, looking for a second opportunity. Puck out in front and tipped down low. Nice stick from Matthew Freisum. East Islip still trying to play it away. Puck comes on net, and we'll get another cover-up. So it'll be Sasso and Cicchino in net for either team. Obviously, Joe Sasso down in the right side of your screen, wearing the black for East Islip. Cicchino on the left wearing the white away jerseys, or actually the technical home jerseys for St. Anthony's. Carney over at the boards will get poked away from the puck. It's tipped around him and down deep past Freisum as well. Good attack coming. Shot in front of the net. It goes in, but the net was off its moorings. Waiting to see. It's going to be called a goal. St. Anthony's will crack the board first. A little bit of a discombobulated play right there because the net came off its moorings. Might have been a kicking motion as well. I want to take a second look at that. Regardless, St. Anthony's will be up 1-0. Bats around a couple of times, so awkward first goal, but a first goal nonetheless. As we get an icing back down in front of Sasso. Obviously has to recuperate himself after giving up an early goal, one that's not exactly his fault. Took a couple of different deflections before he was able to see it in the first place. Carney will come out for the face-off against the captain of St. Anthony's. Carney trying to clear and does get it past the blue line. Sent right back for Reynolds. Good defensive play in the corner, then gets pushed off the puck by D'Andrea. D'Andrea now trying to screen out in front. Sasso makes the save regardless. Puck sent down the ice. Chino already has his hand raised. He knows exactly what's going on. We'll get another icing. Right back to another O-zone face-off now for the Friars. Got a game coming up after this one, a varsity matchup between West Islip and Smithtown Hauppauge. So you want to check out some varsity action on the LI Sports Network. Stay tuned for that. It'll be right after this game. Puck pops out in front. Reynolds trying to get his stick on it. Forced away by Engelhardt. Carney comes in down low for the pinch. Friars send it out in front, looking for a shot, and Sasso gets over in time. Good stop from the netminder. Puck still alive in the offensive end, though, for the Friars. Reynolds trying to do what he can, but it's poked past him. East Islip still just battling along the perimeter. Engelhardt with a nice move, looking for a shot from the slot, deflects off a stick, comes back to him off the end boards, can't center it around Reynolds. And now East Islip look like they can play this one out with Blatschuk on the far side carrying it ahead. Blatschuk sliding it in towards the blue paint. Chino will cover up, and we'll get another whistle early on in this game. Chino makes another quick save, forces another face-off off to his left-hand side. Blatschuk will go in for it once more. This time deflects down low. Bogorowski gets a stick on it but can't direct it towards the right side. St. Anthony's work it up and out, looking for a counterattack into the offensive ends. Hard shot does clear the zone in favor of East Islip. Won't be an icing either, as Bogorowski will get in first on the forecheck. Chino raising his mitt as a little bit of a screen. Always love when goaltenders try to get involved on the breakout like that. Hurlbert trying to drag around a couple of sticks. Poked away from him. Carney couldn't clear. Called up by Sursich. Has it on his backhand to Bogorowski. His shot is deflected off to the side. as I was trying to say a couple of minutes ago, shortened benches for both of these teams usually happens on these Sunday matchups. Lots of travel responsibilities for plenty of these players in the Suffolk County High School Hockey League, so it's always lucky when you honestly can field enough players to come out here and compete. Thankfully for either side, they have an equal number of players. It's going to be the 5 on the ice, obviously, at all times, plus a goaltender, plus 4 bench players. So probably a lot of people playing defense when they're normally forwards. Maybe some defenders getting to play up in the rush. Obviously, I know a couple defenders who always like to do that when I was growing up. Chino will deflect it down low, twirled around the boards. Kelly gets in on the pinch. 2-on-2 for either side as the puck is slowly dribbling towards the blue line and past. Friars now with a little bit of speed through the neutral zone, and it's instantly rifled off their sticks back down to Chino. Taps it off for Catazone. Wiggles past one check, now looks to dump in as he takes a hit at the red line. Puck up for grabs. Dumped in by Catazone. Lemaire, first one back for East Islip. Has 2 forecheckers right in his face. Lifts it up but not out. Gloved down by the captain of St. Anthony's. And then he'll accidentally take out Reynolds, making this a delayed penalty. St. Anthony's will touch up, and with 8:59 left on the clock, we'll go to a power play for East Islip as they try to even out this game at 1 apiece. Puck instantly cleared off the draw, comes back for Sasso, looks for an outlet pass on the near wall. Comes loose to Bogorowski, instantly hounded but does get the puck forward. Carney trying to stay on sides, helps out Sursich as he'll dump this one all the way down low. Sursich, excuse me. Trying to stay strong on his skates. It's worked away from him, and once again St. Anthony's will clear it down the rink. Sasso with it again, looking off to Lemaire. Lemaire missed to Sursich, but it's still taken by East Islip. Actually, sent down a little too quickly, and that will be an icing against East Islip. They'll come back to their zone with $1:17 left on the power play, needing to play at the length of the ice before they can really set up 5-on-4. Blaszczuk gets a shot onto Cicchino. He wasn't particularly bothered by it. Matthew Freisum will start the breakout for EI. Freisum leans off to the right looking for a stick, but it's once again back for control in the St. Anthony zone. They'll look to play at the length and do get it down. Kelly wasn't far off to knock it in the neutral zone, but unfortunately he has to skate all the way back behind his own net to pick it up. Kelly now building some speed. Looks to attack off from the right side, cuts past the blue line. Caught around one check, then gets some help from Blaszczuk to hold it in the zone. His drive not far off, but goes right back to St. Anthony's, and they send it down the length one more time. 18 seconds left, East Islip with enough time for one more rush. There's Matthew Freisum with it, looking for an outlet pass. Can't hit his man. Pops right back to him. Matthew Freisum now needing to get those Jets going. 4 seconds left on the power play, and we're going to go back to 5-on-5 here at the rinks. Still in a 1-0 tilt for St. Anthony's. Buck pops out to the slot. A tap pass to the blue line, intercepted by the Friars. Hilbert chips it around one. Kelly gets a stick check in there to prevent him from going in on the net. Blaszczuk finding the loose puck, rims it around to the far side, held alive by St. Anthony's. Working it towards the slot now. Reynolds gets in front of a shot. Somehow going back to a Fryer stick. Blaszczuk with a chance to play it. Twirls it to the corner, and we're going to get another call from the referees. Second whistle of the game with 6:20 to play in the first period. Waiting to see who this is going to go on, as the whistle came after the hit, obviously, and after the puck came to the opposite side. So St. Anthony's will lose another player to the penalty box. East Islip will go on their second power play. Or unless we're going to get a player apiece, we will. Spoke too soon. Player apiece. So we'll stay at 5-on-5. The bench is shortened to just 3 players now for the next 2 minutes. Carney on the draw, can't win it out. Friars take control in the slot. Play a shot towards Sasso, makes a right leg save. Carney now jousting for it, has a couple of teammates joining him there. One is Justin Lemaire trying to push his man off the puck. Bops free, and EI will elevate it out of the zone. Puck is slowing down, but just had enough juice for an icing. So we take another pause with 5:53 left in the first period. SCHSHL trying to weave it around a body, gives it off. Justin Lemaire lifts it high, but not out. Pops down low for St. Anthony's again, controlled by Ferreira. Comes up to the blue line and out for East Islip. SCHSHL on the pressure. The puck is played accidentally into the box for another faceoff. Shot not going to be far off from Blaszczuk. Missed on the right side. St. Anthony's do get the opportunity to play it into the neutral zone again. Carney came back for it, couldn't control it. Captain from St. Anthony's now for a shot, and Sasso will make the save. Carney pushes it over to the corner. Ferreira gets it in deep for St. Anthony's. Comes right back to him. Ferreira at the goal line looking for a dish option. Works out in front, then put down low. Reynolds finds it right in front of him again, and Reynolds, safe play to get this puck out. Loses his handle in the neutral zone, bounces right back to him. Reynolds still going strong through these checks. Winds it down low. St. Anthony's battle for it along the perimeter. Can't get it out as it deflects back towards the goal line. Still exchanging hands, and finally St. Anthony's get the clear. Kelly back for it, and it should be an icing. Referees will enforce. So with 4:06, we go to an O-zone face-off for East Islip as they look to mount a little bit of offense. Down 1-0 here in the first period. Carney will take the draw. And the left dot, Kelly lining up right behind him. Face off sits on the dot for a second before going down low in control of St. Anthony's. Couple of tap passes, and they're headed north quickly. This is going to be a breakaway. 3-on-1. Kelly, the lone man bat, shot. Sasso makes the save, and Reynolds comes in for the rebound. SA, though, still in the offensive end. Another shot ramps off the stick as Sasso, he makes another good one. Keeps his team out of trouble. So Joe playing well like he always does. Carney for another draw, once again up against Hurlburt, excuse me. I don't know why that's a hard one for me, but it is. Maybe it's because I'm partially sick right now. It is that time of the year. Fall allergies finally hitting me, and hitting me like a truck. Carney, down low, taps it free from that pile-up, but held alive by St. Anthony's. Comes loose to Friesen. He tries to clear off the far side again, but is denied there. Puck down to the left wing corner. Carney with control again. This time ramps it a little bit higher, but once again shut down at the point. Comes back to the captain for St. Anthony's. A shot deflects off a skate. Works loose. Another follow-up. This time Sasso finds it. Lets up a rebound. No one from the Friars was able to get it on net. One more block, and now Blatchuk will elevate it out of the zone, allowing his team to go for a change. St. Anthony's quickly in on the reload. Looking to work it around Friesen. Good stick from him, and he'll get it right back out. That was Justin right there, obviously. His brother, Matthew Friesen, number 7. Puck in deep now. Ferreira worked it around, but it's taken away. Bogorowski looking towards the middle. Too much traffic to wind it through. Obviously, we're past those 2 penalties, well past those penalties that shortened the benches to 3 aside. We're back to 4 aside. Not that that's exactly ideal, but it is what it is. Lemaire looking for a poke check. Puck comes free into the corner. St. Anthony's find it again. Looking for traffic out in front. A tip shot. Sasso fights through it. SCHSHL with a chance to get it out. It's battled for at the far point and just slides past the blue line. Justin Lemaire races ahead, does control the puck on the backhand, lifts it, but into enemy control. Bogorowski angles a player off, and it's dumped in. Cicchino works it off for his defense. Pass intercepted now for Carney. Carney with room into the high slot. Dragging around for a shot. SCHSHL makes the save. Or excuse me, Cicchino makes the save. Puck up top. Reynolds a little off to the left. Still alive on the play as now St. Anthony's finds some open ice to skate through. Kelly almost getting a good hit. As we're down to a minute to play in the first period, St. Anthony's still lead 1-0. SCHSHL up to Carney as Bogorowski can't hit his tape. St. Anthony's reload right back into the offensive end. Reynolds a chance. Twirls it around and it accidentally goes all the way down the ice. Should be an icing, and it will be. Friars down low on the wrap try. Comes out in front. Blatchuk trying to clear it away. One-timer coming from the left circle. Just barely fanned on. Andrea wasn't far off with a nice shot on goal. 23 seconds remaining in the period. Carney against DeAndrea down low. Works it up to Reynolds. Trying to tap it to Blatchuk. Works to the blue line. Gasparek with 12 seconds on the clock. Gets the shot off. Reynolds blocks it in his shins. And now comes loose for Kelly. Wiggles past some contact, trying to hit a man in the neutral zone. Instead bounces off for Blatchuk to dump in, and that's how we'll end the first period here on the LI Sports Network. We'll be right back for the start of the second. And we're back for the second period here on the LI Sports Network. My name's Kevin Broderick, joined by Ron Loddick, as well as Gabe Curry, who is running the social media for us. As Lemaire gets pinched down low in the right wing corner. Puck comes up high. Friars get it. Gasparek has control. Bounces it off the far boards. Held alive. Nope. Just offsides for St. Anthony's as they'll take a face-off from the neutral zone. Face-off, one back. Ferreira swings it to the near side, and the Friars get it into the offensive zone. Hurlbert giving it off to the right circle. Shot from the far side is saved by Sasso. Pops free. Lemaire looking for it. Gets his backhand on it. Lemaire now trying to pinch it around a player. Gets support from Justin Leroux. 6 players all together over in the corner. St. Anthony has come out with possession. Lemaire back into the right wing, continuing to do the physical work for the Chiefs. Works it around Ferreira, but not out. Catazone was at the near point, trying to pinch in on the play. He'll lose it out, and that will send East Islip springing forward. Bad pass will shut down the momentum. DeAndrea with it, as he'll decide to just leave it in the corner. It's lifted high by Lemaire. Comes back for DeAndrea. Gives it to Catazone in his own end. Anthony Catazone up ahead now. Good hit from Lemaire into the boards. Comes back for Leroux. To the far side, Carney. Works around one, check and two. Right onto the tape of Bogorowski. Great play from Carney. It's all for naught, though, as St. Anthony's find a turnover for themselves in the neutral zone. Lemaire back for it. Icing will be enforced. Very narrow margins right there, as we might get this at center ice as a bit of a makeup call. No, referees are going to say it's all the way down. St. Anthony's a little perplexed about the call. I don't blame them. It was definitely a close one. 12:47 left in the second period. Engelhardt looking for a player out in front. Sasso somehow making that save. The EI goaltender now scrambling, finds the puck into his glove. What a play from Joseph Sasso. Take a look at this first save. Pushing off with the strength, trying to regain it. It's poked away by Reynolds, comes into the high slot. Sasso's going back, just puts out the glove, and it goes right there. That's got me fired up. Reynolds will take a penalty on the play as well to put St. Anthony's into a 5-on-4. So the Friars with their first power play opportunity of the game, and they'll instantly be sent from the zone. Chino back in his own net will tap it. Lemaire following up with another good play from the neutral zone. Gasparek up ahead for Engelhardt. He'll take his time, pressured by Carney. Comes back for Gasparek on the near side. Lemaire in front of him, works it down low to the goal line, sending it out in front. A dribbling puck got through all of that traffic unharmed. Blaszczuk will swing it down for Lemaire as he'll try to clear off the boards and does get it into center ice. Past the stick of Gasparek and all the way down. Blaszczuk in on the forecheck, trying for a little cheeky steal, potentially shooting on an empty net. A discombobulated breakout for St. Anthony's, trying to find some space on the left wing side, and they will swing it. Change on the backside of the play. St. Anthony's got to make sure they don't take too many men on the ice penalty. Carney, shorthanded. Carney driving. Backhander was denied by Gasparek. He still hangs on to the puck, pinching it into the end boards. Blashchuk comes there to help him out. Carney somehow working free with possession. Still just pinning the puck on the board. St. Anthony's desperately trying to get their power play back on the rails. Carney with another good play, continuing to be a thorn in their side. Kelly at the far point. Looks like he'll take another penalty. St. Anthony's will be up another man as Cecchino is off to the bench. 10 seconds left on the power play. Shot saved by Sasso. Bounces free to Carney. And now we'll get the second penalty enforced. 6 seconds left. We'll go to 5-on-3. Kelly will go into the box now. Not a lot of time at 5-on-3. EI will have a player out of the box quickly. A shot blocked by Blashchuk. Another rebound works through the slot. Now EI just back into another 5-on-4. Cecchino hanging on to a dangerous puck right there. That's got to make your heart jump out of your chest. Lemaire sends it the length one more time, just underneath the stick of Catazone. Anthony will go back for it. Anthony with some room, trying to wiggle around Leroux, powering ahead of Lemaire. Catazone now getting pushed into the boards. Leroux comes back for the puck, but it's worked off to the opposite end. St. Anthony's with under a minute in this power play. It's their second in a row. Matthew Friesom now with a bit at the puck. Doesn't win it out. Gasparek twirling at the goal line, trying on a backhand centering feed. Hits off the net. Comes right back to him. Has options at the point to Catazone. Quick tap pass for Holbert. Said it's Engelhart to come away with it. And mishandled. Somehow comes free for Gasparek. 26 seconds left on the power play. He fans on a shot, and Lemaire will happily take control of it, sending it just accidentally off the face mask of Bogorowski. Gilbert, power move, sends it through the blue paint. Ferrara never got his stick on it. A drive from the perimeter does go wide of the net. 3 seconds left on the power play, and we'll go back to 5-on-5. The Chiefs killing off 2 consecutive power plays to keep this game a 1-0 score. Friesom with it. Jukes past one. Puck lifted off his stick. Drive in on net. Sasso comes up with a stop, and his team will clear it out for him. Icing will be waved off by the linesman on the near side. DeAndrea hits it off his skate, straight into the control of Reynolds. Works it past DeAndrea. Now gaining the red line, tries to swing it middle. Deflected, now his team needs to get back on sides. Carney staying strong, will dump in the puck. Blashchuk, the forechecker on the play. Catazone decides to bank it off. Allows Carney to quickly race for a 50-50 puck. Reynolds trying to hold it in at the near point. Gets it on his tape, sends it towards the net. Catazone should be able to get there first. Has Blashchuk right in front of him. Off the high glass and out. This could be a breakaway. Ferraro can't dangle it around the lone man back of Reynolds. Ferrara, excuse me. Gasparek. Jockeyed off of his stick. Poked back to the neutral zone. Monteleone off to Gasparek. Bounces somehow to Blaszczuk. He weaves past the blue line, pulling up on his skates, rifling a shot, and it's off to the right side. Kearney trying to get it back to Blaszczuk. Dives below the goal line, sends it in front. Just barely not controlled by Kearney. Now a foot race coming out. Hurlbert somehow with gas in the tank despite a short bench for both teams. Hurlbert almost finding an angle to swing around for a shot. Should be able to keep the puck alive in the offensive end. Turns around to skim it down low. Hits off the skate of Blaszczuk. Pops to Reynolds. Works it from free space with Kelly. Kelly with it now, not able to clear. The Friars activate from the blue line. Send it out in front. Not far off from a second goal as we're under halfway in this game. 6:05 remaining in the second period. Captain for the Friars, still holding it alive. Catazone, fresh off the bench. Drives down low on Kelly. Gets it out in front. Still loose in the slot. St. Anthony's fighting for it, but can't come up with a shot. Gasparek from range, and we'll get a whistle beforehand. Net might have come off its moorings, or we might be getting a penalty here. And it will be a penalty, this time on St. Anthony's. Another power play for the Chiefs. So it looks like we'll get a 2 and a 10 here on St. Anthony's. 2 minutes for a power play and then a 10-minute misconduct, leaving an extra player in the box for the Friars as SCHSHL makes a flashy leather save. Trying to take a look. Quick shot for Friesen, blocked by Engelhart. He was almost onto a breakaway if he got a lucky bounce. Instead, it's Kearney in the left circle. Gets a shot elevated, loose, out in front, kicked aside by Gasparek, and he'll have a nice lane to clear it out to the neutral zone. So in case you're wondering, it is a slashing and unsportsmanlike conduct on Chero as the puck will be put into the netting. So the penalty will be served by DeAndrea, leaving Jake out of the action for the next 2 minutes. And then Reavy won't be back on the ice for about another 9:30. Again, hurting the Friars considering it's already a short bench for either side. East Islip, give it over. Friesen, long ranger. He scores! Traffic out in front. East Islip has tied up the game. So it will go down as a goal for Matthew, assisted by Chris Blaszczuk. As that's got Sasso fired up on the other end of the ice. Puck worked in deep, taken away by Lemaire. Airmails it back into center ice. Catazone calmly skating backwards. Forecheck coming in from Bogorowski. Friars fight for it at their own blue line. Poke it free. Now Catazone. Magic pass. Catazone lining up for a shot. Blasted into the end boards. Held alive at the opposite. Comes back for Friesen. Backhander trying to clear the zone. Helped out right there by Sersic. He's into a 2-on-1. Bogorowski off to his right side. Sersic sending it towards the middle and through the traffic. LaRoe trying to make up for it off the boards. LaRoe pitching it on the backhand. St. Anthony's will be there first. Nice little stick lift from DeAndrea. As Friesen going to get called now for a slashing. Referee is always going to catch the second man. Friesen getting the worst of it right there, but that's just something you got to learn with age. St. Anthony's power play coming up. Oh, no, they're actually going to get both players. And they won't be offsetting, so we'll go to 4-on-4 for 2 minutes. DeAndrea and Friesen, Matthew, that is, both off for slashing. And I continue to be wrong about these calls. I continue to speak too quickly. We will not be at 4-on-4. We will, in fact, be at 5-on-5. So a face-off from center ice. Comes over to Engelhardt. He cuts past the blue with a line to attack. Rips the shot. Ends up wide again, held at the far point. Back for EI control, and they'll swing it. Gasparek. Poke check from LaRoe, followed up by Bogorowski, separated from the puck. LaRoe back to Bogorowski in the slot. Couldn't rip the shot. Engelhardt got back in time. Engelhardt cuts past Kelly. Now with room to attack. His shot saved by Sasso. He has a couple of nice opportunities on this shift so far. Cicchino will activate out of the net. Leaves it. Michael looking for Engelhardt. Tape to tape. Now past the blue line. Here's the captain. Hurlbert getting down low. The shot was more of a pass off the pads of Sasso. Just didn't have enough players in the slot. Now LaRoe past the blue line, trying to send a backhand pass to Bogorowski. Poked away from him. The Friars clear it right back out. Skating forward, 3-on-2. Reynolds, the first man in front. Reynolds trying to interrupt the pass as it sails off to the corner. Clearing attempt. Hits Sursich. He's not able to get it out. Right back down low. Reynolds will chase after it. Gasparek pinching it off the boards. Bogorowski there to fight for it. Comes free to LaRoe, and he'll send it high into the opposite blue line. Dumped in again by St. Anthony's. Kelly quickly working it around. Blaszczuk does get a stick on it to slow it down for no icing, but Gasparek was there for it regardless. Couple of D-to-D passes. Comes right back to Griffin. Griffin with speed. Down the wall. Looking for a centering feed. Comes to Catazone. A shot down low saved by Sasso. Rebound goes wide of the net. Twisted around the high glass. Shot for Gasparek. Hits traffic, and Kelly almost puts it into the back of his own net. Kelly with a nice follow-up hit into the boards, joined by Carney. St. Anthony still hold it alive with just over a minute to play in the second period. Rara gets it off for a shot. Somehow St. Anthony's not tucking it into the back of the net there. Catazone, good dangle, trying to get around two. His stick lifted, stays with the puck. Gets it all the way behind the net, under a minute to play now. Comes back for Gasparek. So much offensive zone time here for St. Anthony's. A shot hits off of Reynolds. Banks over to Kelly, and he'll lift it out of the zone, forcing St. Anthony's to touch up. Giving back over to Reynolds with 34 ticks left on the clock. Can't work it around Hurlbert. Puck tied up. Given over, Gasparek to the slot. Shot. Glove save. Sasso. Carney off to Lemaire. Looking for Blaszczuk at the point. Puck gets past both players of Catazone and Blaszczuk. And it looks like it will just die out in St. Anthony's end. Maybe time for one shot, but it's right back to the perimeter. We end the second period in a 1-1 score. East Islip and St. Anthony's are going to have to do battle in the third to decide who will win. And we're back for the third period. East Islip and St. Anthony's tied up at 1 apiece here at the rinks in Hauppauge. As we're back into action for the third. Catazone with it right now. East Islip work forward on the forecheck. St. Anthony's going to make quick work getting it off to Engelhardt. Dives past the blue line, room for a shot, fans on it a little bit, allows Lemaire to fly towards the puck. Still in the offensive end, Lemaire trying to get at it again. Is cleared out past the blue line. All the way down for Cicchino. We'll let Catazone come onto it. No icing as the puck didn't have the speed. Kelly at the point. Does get it in deep. St. Anthony's dig it out quickly. Dumped in by Carney. Not able to cut off the puck. Twirls all the way around the boards for Kelly. Goes skate to stick, looking for a shot. Deflected by Blaszczuk, but not on net. Cicchino will watch it sail off to the corner. Players come together, all jockeying for control, and St. Anthony's will get it out. To the red line now. Kelly with a quick stick, returning it to Blaszczuk. Trying to sweep it past Catazone. It pops back towards Kelly. Chips and chases, but not around Ferrara. Catazone with control again. Flips it towards the center ice. Engelhardt. Catazone again. Gains the red line and rifles it deep. Comes around for Hilbert. Doesn't get a good piece of it. Shot ends up on Sasso. Denied with the glove. Reynolds tries to swing it off the boards and out. Comes right back to him. Reynolds Does get it off the high glass, held alive at the point. Carney looks for it, goes to the captain, sends it to the goal line. DeAndrea fumbles on the puck a little bit. Reynolds flies in for support, and Blaszczak is able to clear the zone. Is an icing on Blaszczak, though, so we'll go right back to EI zone for an offensive zone faceoff. LaRoe ties up, trying to get it off to Reynolds. Instead, it's DeAndrea down below, sends it out in front, and somehow Sasso coming up with a couple of stops. Kelly sends the shot forward, and SCHSHL will make the save. LaRoe now in the offensive end for the draw. As Lemaire back potentially for a shot. It's dug out down low by Gasparek. SCHSHL gets it off. Freisum a shot. Did hit LaRoe, but just not angled the right way. Bogorowski to Lemaire with space, lining up for the shot. Instantly hitting a stick and then just going off to the right side of the post. SCHSHL centering feed. Pops out down to the goal line, and now St. Anthony's have it. Into center ice. Hilbert, make that Engelhart on the awkward angle. Is saved by Sasso. Freisum, with plenty of bodies in front of him, has to lift it high to get it out. Back for Gasparek. Bogorowski got a stick on it. LaRoe comes back for the poke check. Gasparek gets through all of that traffic. Trying to pull up. Had the puck poked away from him, but then he dumps it in deep. Kelly with it behind his own net. Off for Lemaire. Lemaire, a backhand, not far away from Blaszczak, but didn't get it onto his tape. Blaszczak, nice check at the red line. Carney comes in for the hit. Bogorowski sends it into a pile. Carney trying to dig it out. Gets it off to Blaszczak, past the blue line, slides it. Carney trying to get in front of the net. Carney on the backhand. SCHSHL makes the save. DeAndrea with a nice jump off the draw. Now in a race with Kelly. Kelly will win it out with ease. Rims it around the boards for Blaszczak on the near side. A bank pass will clear the zone. Carney now trying to get there before Catazone, but instead will be an icing. 10-11 to play in the third period. Puck cycled around for St. Anthony's. Reynolds angled off. Pass back to Catazone at the far point. He takes a shot, instantly hitting Carney out in front. Kelly trying to clear. Can't get it past the captain for St. Anthony's. Turns around for a shot. Kelly blocks it, and it's right onto the tape of Blaszczak. Blaszczak past the blue line. Trying to get it past Catazone. Shot sails wide to the left. Held in by EI. A blast from the point, and it's saved by SCHSHL. Covers up, no rebound. Kelly not able to hold on to it. DeAndrea trying to pull it on a wire. Worked out in front of the net. Ferrara had his pocket picked. Now Reynolds with a couple of powerful strides, trying to send it over to Blaszczuk. Catazone gets it back instead with some speed. Catazone diving down below the goal line. Carney not far behind him. His centering feed on the backhand was broken up. Worked around. Gasbreck at the blue line. Nice little dance move there. Creates it into a shot off to the left side. Ferrara will come over to the half wall. His shot blocked by Kelly. Popped up high. Ferrara takes it back. Sends it towards the middle. DeAndrea didn't have his head turned. Kelly with a chance to clear. Gives it off. Reynolds instantly pressured. Banks it off the boards. Not out of the zone. Catazone is there for it. And it is past Catazone now. Gasparek could try to reload quickly. EI getting caught in a bit of a change. Gasparek on the shot. It's off to the left. Captain still. Kelly still with a bit of snow from his earlier tumble. Sends it down the ice. Should be an icing, and the referees will enforce. 8:11 to play in regulation. Puck up to the high slot. Sasso makes the stop and relies on Lemaire to get the garbage out of the zone. Engelhardt looking for some open ice. Hit by Bogorowski as he dumps in. It's still in deep. Engelhardt chasing for his own loose puck. Friesen not able to glove it down. Pops off to the apron. Carries into the corner. Sersic had a chance to play it. Poked past him. Now Friesen down low. Swings it around the boards, held alive by St. Anthony's. A drive coming on net above the crossbar. Engelhardt collects at the goal line. Works it up high, looking for a passing options, but it's out of the zone. East Islip with a lot of pressure. Twisted around them. Hilbert, he'll drive. Still carrying on the backhand. Gasparek is a passing option. Instead, sends it towards the slot and stays in. Too much powder on the blue line to clear for East Islip. A little unfortunate for them. Friesen trying to kick it away. Engelhardt through traffic, somehow still holding on. Twirls at the goal line. Bank pass to the blue. Long range shot fanned on. Leroux trying to get it off. Bogorowski has Sersic, but oversends him just by a little bit. Gasparek is back in time. Halfway gone in the third period. Engelhardt on a long shift right now. Trying to send it through the legs of Leroux. He'll hold on to possession, flip it into the zone. Sersic back for it. Cecchino back for it, and he'll cover up. Chino another stop. Carney trying to hold it in. Blaszczuk pokes it off the board, sends it out in front. Kelly on the follow-up for the one-timer. It's high above the net. Awkward bounce off the end boards. Works in favor of St. Anthony's. Trying to clear it past Kelly. Puts it on the backhand, back down low. Carney trying to cut out the outlets on the opposite side. Ties up with his stick. Carney still with it. Off to Blaszczuk. Shot off the wall. Saved. And a penalty is upcoming here on East Islip. St. Anthony's will go 6-on-5 for the time. Ferrara. And the pass towards the blue is intercepted. 5:55 remaining in regulation. St. Anthony's with a golden opportunity to punch in their second here on this 5-on-4. High sticking the call on Kyle Carney. Catazone dances at the blue, just barely able to hold it in. Backhand goes on net and almost had DeAndrea on the far door. Cleared out by East Islip all the way down the ice. Cecchino touches up. Puck given to Anthony Catazone to quarterback this power play. Looking for a passing option. Hits it onto the tape of Ferrara. Ferrara up ahead to his captain. Sent into the zone. DeAndrea not able to get on top of it, and Reynolds sends it the length. Catazone this time will skate it up. Catazone all the way past the blue, trying to put on the Jets now. Poked over towards the goal line. Sends it towards the weak side of the rink. Gasbrook is there to hold it in. Not strong, though, as Kelly instantly gets it down, and St. Anthony's not able to hold it at blue. Goldberg banks it. Catazone drags around Blaszczuk. Looking towards the center of the rink. Onto the stick of Engelhardt. He'll chip and chase. Awkward bounce, though, off one of the seams of the wall, and they'll be repelled once more into their own zone. St. Anthony's, with just 30 seconds left on this power play, need to get it up ice and quick. Gasbrook gives it off. There's Engelhardt again. Looking for Catazone. Dances backwards to the red line and dumps in. And his team accidentally forcing an icing right there. Thought Catazone had the line, but the referees with a better angle say he was just a little off. Catazone pursued by Bogorowski. St. Anthony's now with less than 10. Turnover, high slot, almost tipped by Leroux. SCHSHL makes a save, almost poked past him by Catazone. What a crazy sequence as we're back to 5-on-5. Catazone now making up for the mistake. Dangles it through Lemaire, but it's saved by Sasso. Leroux wins the draw. Back to Friesen. Off the high glass and out. Carney into a one-on-one. Trying to get his speed on. Carney drags it middle. Looking for the shot. Fans on it. And then falls down to the ice. Gasbrook was back in time. Sweeps it around. Bogorowski holds it. Off to Lemaire. Trying to dump it in as they now fumble for the puck between their sticks. Hilbert holding up this play a little bit longer. It's a 2-on-1 in favor of East Islip. Puck almost being worked free. Pop towards the blue line. Bogorowski held the zone. Now another opportunity for Carney. Smacks his stick, gets it down a little bit lower. Now St. Anthony's twisted around. Friesen with a long ranger, almost hitting it off the stick of Leroux. Ends up wide. Carney with it now. Takes a hit, stays on his skates. Gets it up top to Lemaire, instantly pressured. Lemaire back to Carney. High zone. Carney a shot. Rebound there for Bogorowski. Can't find it. Out for DeAndrea. Team off sides. Leroux has everyone on the ice a little tired at the end of this game. 2:30 to play. Again, these are short benches for either team. 9 total skaters, 10 including the goaltender. DeAndrea trying to find some juice. The puck worked back towards the blue line. He'll reset with control. Ferrara to the near side. Worked pass for Gasbrook, and he's just barely called off. 2:09 to play. Sersic strips it away from Engelhardt. Pokes it around Catazone, recovers. Puck back to Reynolds now at the red line. Nice little chip pass to SCHSHL. Has trouble handling it. Gets it past the blue. Catazone trying to bat it out of the air. Carney holds it. Off to SCHSHL again. Rifled away from his stick, and now St. Anthony's have it with Engelhart. Past the blue. Engelhart diving down to the goal line. Sends it out in front. Hits Tasso instantly and banks off for Reynolds. Reynolds now with a lot of speed into a 2-on-2 forward. Back check coming from St. Anthony's. Reynolds dragging around for a new angle. Is shot saved by SCHSHL. $1:28 left in the third period. Carney on the tie-up, getting it over for a shot. Fought off by SCHSHL. Kelly gives it. Blaszczuk slides, middle. Taken away by St. Anthony's. Blaszczuk fighting hard at the far point. Carney joining his brother there. Comes away. Puck loose. Carney trying to get towards it. Speared by Catazone, but his team offsides allows Kelly to come onto it. Kelly trying to wiggle through the traffic, gets past the blue line. Catazone in front of him. Kelly just gliding on the skates right now, sends it out in front. Both teams poke at it. SCHSHL, can he get on top? Still loose as it goes down below the goal. Kelly with control again, trying to slide it through some traffic. Comes over for Blaszczuk, takes a hit into the boards. That's going to be a penalty on St. Anthony's. 5-on-4. For the remaining 33 seconds and overtime if needed for the Chiefs. It's DeAndrea off into the box for the next two. Cross-checking the official call. And we're going to get a timeout, so we'll step aside for a second here on the LI Sports Network. And we're back here on the LI Sports Network. 33 ticks remaining. And this JV tilt 1-1 the score. An offensive zone draw and a power play upcoming. Friesen hits Carney. Open shot. What a save by SCHSHL. Flashing the leather out there, keeping his team in it. Face off moved over to the right side. Blaszczuk will step in to take it. Puck is down, one back to Leroux, can't handle it. Into the neutral zone now. Drops it off Lemaire, works his way up ice. Dicing past the blue line, leaves it Carney. Space for the shot, ramps off a stick, and up high. SCHSHL makes another grab. Puck out of the zone, and that might do it for regulation. Back with Sasso right now, just trying to get it away from danger. Engelhart will take a shot at the net, tips off a stick, and that's how we end the full 45. Overtime required in this matchup between St. Anthony's and East Islip. We'll be back in just a second for it. And we're back for overtime. $1:27 left on the power play for East Islip against St. Anthony's. So it's 4-on-3 on the ice. Reminder, no changes during stoppages here in Suffolk County overtime. Puck out to LaRoe. His shot does hit off a skate, deflects over to the right wing corner and cleared out by St. Anthony's. We skate for 4 minutes. If no one wins in the next 4, this game will end in a tie. Lemaire dangles in, leaves it off. Carney with options, gives it over. LaRoe with space, lining up for the shot, hits traffic and just goes off to the left side. Lemaire with it again. One man to beat, centering bid, stick to side. LaRoe trying to hold the zone, gets it around and it's sent heavily into the East Islip bench. Everyone looks like they're okay. 3:12 remaining. 39 seconds in the 4-on-3. Carney into the corner, wraps it around. Catazone will be there first, unbothered. Just trying to clear it out and does touch it down at center ice, all the way back for Sasso. 3 minutes to play in overtime, 25 seconds left at the 4-on-3. Stretch past the blast shot. Dives past the blue. Catazone in front of him, looking for a centering bid. Carney had the tip, but it's off goal. Frysum holding it there, poked off his stick. St. Anthony's try to clear. LaRoe holds the blue line, gives it off. Blast shot, weaving through his own team. Shot instantly into some skates out in front. LaRoe takes it back, gives it to Blashuk. We're back to 4-on-4. Up top, Frysum with a back check coming, takes the shot out in front. Robbed by Cicchino, point blank. Blashuk on the draw, gets it off. LaRoe looking for a pass to the far point, and it's once again into the EI bench. 2:18 to play in overtime. Blashuk has been good on these draws, looking to win another one. It's off to Carney. Chance back for Blashuk, stripped away by Catazone. Has Engelhart right in front of him. Instead, Catazone, he's going to fly forward himself, attacking past the blue line. Loses it in the skates of LaRoe, then regains at the goal line. Catazone still trying to use every ounce of energy he has left. Under 2 minutes to play in overtime. The pass just barely sliding around Engelhart. Recovers, though, for St. Anthony's. Kenneth giving it off to Anthony Catazone. Once again past the blue. Catazone trying to drive the net. Shot does go up high. Probably deflecting off of something as it goes into the netting. Offensive zone face-off now for the Friars. Puck right over to Sasso. He'll cover up off the draw, forcing another one. And we'll do it from the same spot. Face-off shot. Stick to side. Sasso gets it over to LaRoe. Tries to clear on the backhand, but it's weakly over to Catazone. Dices around Blashuk into the slot. Just up high. Catazone looking for a highlight reel here in overtime. Still alive for St. Anthony's. Another centering feed. Works through the blue paint. Back to Catazone. He'll collect on his forehand. Sends it down low. Shot up coming. And it's saved by Sasso. But a power play activated for St. Anthony's with just 1:09 remaining. Someone from East Islip is about to be booked. And it looks like it will be Luke Leroux. So 4-on-3 now for St. Anthony's for the rest of this game. Catazone walks from the blue. His shot rings, bar and in. Catazone calls it in overtime. St. Anthony's win. Look at this shot from Catazone. Ugh, just picture perfect. And that's how we'll end this first game here at the rinks. Final score in overtime, 2-1 in favor of St. Anthony's. And we'll be back in a short amount of time for the second game varsity matchup between West Islip and Smithtown Hop Hog.